So we should have a Rivendell level, I suppose. I feel like we're making good progress now. Story-wise, we're halfway through.
Gandalf.
Yes, I am here. And you are lucky to be anywhere, after all the absurd things you've done.
His hat really should be blue, but...
But we needed you, Gandalf.
I was held captive by the treachery of Saruman the White.
Frodo shouldn't be in bed for this scene, too.
Now I am free, and astonished that you brought the ring all this way. Hobbits seem especially resistant to the evil of the ring.
At least 3 of them were from Numenor,
He
yes.
could fight ring wraiths. I thought he was only a ranger.
That is true.
Only a ranger. My dear Frodo, rangers are the last remnant of the kings of ancient Numenor. But now your part in the quest of Mount Doom is complete. You shall hear all about it in many meetings. You are to be the guest at the Council of Elrond.
That could be an in-universe explanation, absolutely, yes. Especially as we know that anything regarding the Valar is very painful to them.
Frodo, son of Drogo.
And Ulmo is present in all places in which there are water. And also, interestingly enough, water is the element in which Morgoth is the least present. So it is more than a decent thought, it's an excellent thought.
Son of Thranduil, king of the Wood Elves. They fight Sauron's forces in Mirkwood Forest. Boromir, son of the Steward of Gondor. The men of Gondor...
Boromir shouldn't have a beard, but okay.
From Sauron's armies.
Sauron's power is tied to this ring. We must carry it deep into Mordor, and...
The council shouldn't be meeting in the evening. It was in the morning.
Deliver our greatest weapon right to the doorstep of our enemy?
We cannot use it. It corrupts
It
all
shouldn't
who
be in the
bear it.
evening.
The more powerful the bearer, the more dangerous...
They went to lunch right after.
I fear to take the ring to hide it. I will not take the ring to wield it.
A dark riddle. Those powerful enough to enter Mordor dare not touch the ring.
Powerful enough to enter Mordor?
Nope, there's Gimli.
All the armies of Middle-earth joined together could not enter Mordor.
A small force with stealth may succeed where a large army would fail.
Elves have tried to join with dwarves against Sauron, but the dwarves prefer to hide in their dark caves.
There's the
their
bickering.
treasures.
At least dwarves are not fleeing Middle-earth. But elves are sailing away to the safety of the West during our darkest hour. Enough. I say we use the ring as a weapon. For none of you is powerful enough to bear the ring to Mordor.
I will take the ring, though I do not know the way.
I think this task
It's a very
has been
fast
aborted
version
for
of the
you, Frodo.
council, but that's okay.
If you do not find the way, no one will.
You won't send him alone?
No, indeed, since it is not possible to separate you from him, Sam Gamgee. Gandalf shall lead a fellowship of free people against Sauron. 9 walkers against Sauron and his 9 riders.
Utumno
Legolas
is what you're
shall
looking
be
for.
the elves,
There's no
and
L in
Gimli
it.
for the
Utumno.
dwarves. For men there shall be Aragorn and Boromir of Gondor. For the remaining 2, I shall call for great heroes, like...
Merry and Pippin.
Merry and Pippin. Hobbits are free people too.
You cannot begin to imagine the danger ahead.
Neither can Frodo, and neither can I. Even the greatest lords of the elves could not...
This is
also
true, is that
pass it
Gandalf was
Mordor.
really in their
Would rather
corner.
Trust Hobbit friendship than ancient power.
Very well, then. The Fellowship of the Ring shall set forth to Mordor.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, that was very clipped. I want to comment that was more than just a decent thought. Now, I don't think that Morgoth feared water. I just think it's because what he put his essence into was Middle-earth. And it really showed you what he valued, because the Morgoth element in Morgoth's ring is gold. He put most of his essence into gold, which accounts for a lot of things like dragon sickness. But it was just sort of casually mentioned that he's found the least in water, and I think it's simply because water is flowing, and because of the presence of Ulmo, that he wasn't able to do that. What I think of the Lord of the Rings movies when I first saw each of them back in the day, I mean, I was just amazed. I had grown up, I had seen the Ralph Bakshi film, I had seen the Rankin Bass cartoons. I couldn't imagine that they would do it on that grand scale, like that. And obviously I had a few issues with them here and there, especially, when I saw the extended versions and was able to just watch the whole thing. And I would have a few nitpicks, especially in The Return of the King. But, just being able to see the characters brought to life so well, and the Howard Shore's score was a big part of that, and the settings and everything. I really like the movies. I do have my issues with them, but I really like the movies. I suppose this is my opportunity to walk around and talk to the various characters. Let me just check what it is that the game actually expects me to do, so we can maybe do that last. It says no quests, but it did say something. I think it was just telling me that I'd finished the previous quest. Let's talk to Elrond.
The time has not yet come for you to leave Rivendell.
You know who's missing? Let's see. Let's see if anybody can tell me who's missing. Who should be here that isn't? I mean, there's a few characters that should be here. That isn't. Glorfindel should be here. Galdor. Erestor. Merry and Pippin should not be here, but they were putting the they were mixing a few scenes together. The scene where Elrond chose each companion would have been later, not at the Council of Elrond. It's interesting that those lights come on when I approach them. I wonder if those are like sort of the Feanorian lamps. But there is one major character that should be here. No, Boromir's here. There's Boromir right there. That's Boromir. You could tell because he's got a shield. Bilbo's not here. Bilbo's not here. That's a big one. Let's talk to Gandalf.
When you saw fire and lightning on Weathertop, you saw the effects of my battle with the Ringwraiths. Had I been 3 days later, I would have met you.
Okay, let's talk to Boromir.
I came to Rivendell seeking answers about a dream. A vision that said the halfling shall stand forth. Are you that halfling? This mission is so great, and you are so small.
That was a line from the book.
Renew
Oh, here's
the
Arwen.
blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king.
Arwen stealing Bilbo's lines.
Have reforged Narsil, the blade of my ancestors. You have done me a great honor.
You do us honor to carry it against our common enemy, Aragorn, son of Arathorn, son of the kings of Numenor.
It shall have a new name. Andúril, Flame of the West.
May it
Whoever
soon be
plays
granted
Aragorn
to
pronounces the
Lord,
words so well.
and then see you safely back to me, my love.
You have my thanks, Arwen Andumiel. And my love.
Wow.
Melon.
Notice that he said Umdomiel, but it was actually spelled wrong in the captions. It was Undomiel.
Elrond chose your companions well, Frodo. We shall not fail you.
Well met to you as well, friend. Your path will be an arduous one, Mingbearer. May the stars shine upon your face.
So it's interesting that she mentions the stars. The elves have a really strong connection to stars. As a matter of fact, the prefix ELL refers to stars. That's where we get Eldar, elves, and a lot of the names. Her two brothers are Elladan and Elrohir. Her father is Elrond. Her uncle, Elros. They all mean star something. Of course, even Elendil was either elf friend or lover of the stars, depending on how you interpret it. And his son, their son, would be Eldarion. So the reason that there is such Gloin should be there too, but the major character that I was thinking of was Bilbo. Bilbo is so important to the scene. The fact that he's not there is weird. Is that they first awoke under the stars. Now, they call themselves Quendi, which means speakers. Because as far as they knew, they were the only people in the world that spoke with a voice. They hadn't met the Valar yet. They hadn't, met the dwarves or the men yet. They hadn't awakened. So they thought, we're the only speaking peoples. We called ourselves Quendi, and that means speakers. And they came up with the concept of language because the first 3 elves that awoken, there was 144 of them that were buried in the earth, sleeping. And the first 3 became the first 3 kings of the elves. Imen, Enel, and Tatya, which is Elvish for primitive Quendian Elvish for the first, the second, and the third. And then they met the Elvish women that would be their wives. They were still sleeping, and they looked upon them, and they invented the concept of language right there and then, because they're like, when these chicks wake up, we've got to start saying some cool things, so they're going to think we're great, and then some romance could happen, you know. We've got to say things to express our feelings, so they invented the concept of language. At least they think they're inventing the concept of language. You know, they haven't met the Valar. When Oroma found them, he called them the Eldar, which is the people under the stars, or the star children, depending on how you want to interpret it. The guy that played Aragorn also played Venom in that Spider-Man game. That's crazy. Such a different voice, too. They were pretty scared of him because there was legends of a great hunter that would come and steal away the elves, and then those elves would never appear again. And here is Oroma, the huntsman of the Valar, this giant guy who just radiates power. And they were pretty scared of him because they weren't sure if he was Melkor or not. Right, let's see. Here's Gimli.
My father Glóin traveled with your uncle Bilbo years ago.
Where is
The
Bilbo?
dwarves of Lonely Mountain still revere Bilbo, along with our greatest heroes. His bravery helped win back our mountain home from the dragon Smaug. A most honorable hobbit is Bilbo Baggins.
He actually shouldn't have a helm yet. He gets a helm at Helm's Deep, which is ironic, but... And here's Legolas.
We have learned that the strange creature called Gollum told the Dark Lord that Baggins of the Shire took the ring. Gollum was held captive by the Wood Elves, but he escaped. He is still seeking the ring.
It's actually the whole reason that this guy's here is to tell us that Gollum escaped. I'm just thinking it's so strange that Bilbo's not here.
It will be good to have such company
Right,
on
Sam.
our journey, Frodo.
You had us worried for a while, cousin. Thank goodness Master Elrond was able to heal that horrid wound of yours.
Merry actually sounded worried there. Yeah, he would be pretty jacked, though, right?
I
Pippin?
see why Bilbo stays here. Rivendell is magnificent. I don't think I'll ever have better meals, ever.
So strange, so Bilbo is here, but where actually is he? All right. Well, I don't know exactly where to go, but now that I've talked to everybody, maybe I should just talk to Elrond again? Oh, sorry,
Your
Elrond.
journey shall begin soon, Ring-bearer. Rest now.
Maybe go in here? Yeah. You think they could have refilled his health, right?
Hello, Bilbo. It looks
Here's
like we'll be
Bilbo.
home soon.
Okay, he has glasses. That's a whole thing that we got to talk about.
Hello, my lad. I've some gifts for use on the road ahead. First, there is Sting, the blade
Weapon
of the
upgrade.
Elven Prince. You'll need it, I wager. This is a mithril shirt from the Dragon Treasure. Very light, but stronger than any steel.
Thank you for all you have done to help me.
Help you? I've brought a terrible doom upon you. I would take the silly old ring myself, but without it, the years have caught up with me. I'm not well preserved anymore.
As you once said, the old that is strong does not wither.
It's part of the same poem. That's actually about Aragorn.
Yes. Take care of yourself, Frodo. And
Aragorn is
all the news you
a
get.
hardy 87 years
Write in
old
a book about
right
your
now.
adventure.
Take care of yourself, Uncle Bilbo.
No, Frodo's going to write a book about his adventure. You wrote a book about your own
Old
adventure.
songs and tales as well.
You translated the Silmarillion.
It
My
was
health did fill up
December
there.
when we set forth on the road to Mordor, traveling through the ancient land of Holland. We were beset on all
Are we going right
sides
to
by
Moria?
Sauron's power. For birds and beasts and even weather could be bent to the wheel of Sauron. The Dark Lord hurled a raging snowstorm as we tried to cross the great mountain Caradhras.
Oh no, we got to talk
We
about
forged
that.
on until an avalanche forced us to quit the mountain and seek another path.
Well, at least he pronounced Caradhras correctly. So Gandalf is saying here, and we had a whole episode, a whole podcast with me and Sid and Matt speaking specifically about Caradhras. And Caradhras, you know, it's a mystery what caused the snowstorm. and we had our different interpretations of it, you know. Sauron calling, actually causing it was a possibility that was raised. I believe it may have been Aragorn that had that idea, and Gandalf was sort of like, well, maybe. Gimli had the thought that it was the mountain itself. There are, of course, other ideas. Peter Jackson interpreted it as Saruman causing the snowstorm. I always say it was Iluvatar that caused it because they needed to go through Moria. Not because of Gandalf dying, although that's important, but because that's where Gollum is. Gollum is there, and Gollum is important. He's the most important character. That being said, it looks like we're skipping Holland completely, and we're going straight to Moria, which for a video game I can understand. So let's get this started.